It's a beautiful Saturday morning to haul a few loads. But why am I working on a Saturday? Since I own my business, I have the flexibility to take a day off during the week. We went to the sand dunes yesterday and created memories that will last a lifetime. How did I end up in this line of work? For that, we need to go back 2 years. I owned a photography business for almost 20 years. That's quite a leap, people tell me. How did you end up driving trucks and running equipment? It all started when I read a book recommended by my brother and best friend. It's called Beyond Positive Thinking by Dr. Robert Anthony, and I highly recommend it. When I opened it up and started reading, the words leapt off the pages to me. I was in a career that was no longer fulfilling, and I was not living my true calling. Before I got into that field, I actually did run heavy equipment and run trucks. But I worked for another company at a job that was not fulfilling, and it was never going to provide for my family. I don't regret doing photography. I learned so much. I was able to work with pro athletes, shoot at the X Games, and travel the world. But to pay the bills, I got into wedding photography because there was definitely more money in that. That eventually morphed into marketing, video, and working with some bigger companies, but it was not my true passion or calling. As I was reading through the pages and chapters of this book, the words were speaking deep into my soul. I knew I was not living my true calling, but to jump into something that was unknown and take a risk to buy equipment and start my own company seemed daunting. In the book, he talked about believing something before you see it versus seeing something before you believe it. That spoke volumes to me because I'm a visionary. I use that passion, drive, and vision to become an award-winning photographer. At first, I really loved it. I really loved it for the first 10 to 12 years, but then I stopped being challenged. Looking back now, I realized that I was not being true to myself. My passion was waning, and I knew that I was created for something more. I always wanted to run heavy equipment and drive trucks. Why? I don't know. It's just something deep inside of me that creates a fire in my belly. And having 2 boys, we ended up watching videos of heavy equipment and big trucks. And wouldn't you know it, I found myself looking at these videos as well and wondering what it would be like if I actually ran my own company. My kids asked me, "Dad, why don't you get a big truck? Can we buy an excavator? How about a front-end loader?" And it got me to thinking, what if I really did it? What if I really changed my career and plunged into the unknown? It was a dream I've had ever since I was a kid. It was on a vacation with my family to Mexico where I realized that this is something I needed to do. I found a dump truck on Facebook Marketplace that I absolutely loved. In July of 2023, I took the plunge and bought it. Of course, this horrified my wife because this was such a big change in our life. But work started coming in right away. And within a month, she was telling me I needed to be in that seat making money and driving the truck. Yes, it was a little bit of a learning curve, but I was really enjoying it and having fun. Besides, I have 2 little boys and they absolutely love heavy equipment and dump trucks. And here's a question that I ask myself, and I will present to you as well. Why as humans are we so afraid of the unknown? What's the worst that can happen? We lose some money and end up back at a career we don't love? But on the flip side, if we live true to our calling and have a real passion for what we're doing, we're going to find a way. As one of my mentors said to me many years ago, if you have a true passion for something, the money will always follow. You will find a way to be successful. That is advice that I encourage you with as well, because it's absolutely true. That's why we are drawn to movies of people that overcome incredible challenges and push on to the other side. We root for them. We cheer for them. And deep inside, we wonder what it would be like if that was us. What if I was the one that was overcoming? What if I was the one that was pushing through challenges that seemed too great? I believe deep inside at my core, we are not called to live a comfortable life, at least not for me. I do not want to get to the end of my life and wish that I had taken a different path. Life is short. I do not know how many days I will have left on this earth, but I want to live them to the fullest. I want to be a mentor and an inspiration to my kids. And most importantly, I want to live a life that I can be proud of. I want to make a difference. I will be intentional. And that means trying new things, pushing into areas that sometimes frighten me. And I encourage you to do the same. If you have a dream deep inside of you, go for it. You can do it. And you want to know something? I feel drawn and called to be a public speaker as well. And yes, I know, I don't have the most eloquent voice, but I have a story, and I know that some people will love it. And I have a story, and I know that many people would be encouraged and inspired by it. But I just have to get over myself, over my fear, and share it with the world. So thank you so much if you've made it this far. I believe in you. So tell me in the comments below, if you could do anything in the world, what would you do? What is your greatest fear? What is your biggest hurdle? What would it take to overcome that?